Come on! Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw
so admittedly, when it comes to Formula One, I'm an absolute casual fan, yeah? But I have been a casual fan for about 20 years. So when I saw what I saw last weekend, I came like Stevie Wonder in the sense that I couldn't believe my eyes, fam. Right, so just in case you have no idea what I'm on about, last weekend was the final race of the Formula One season, and Lewis Hamilton was set to become the most successful Formula One driver of all time. And in a 58-lap race, for 57.5 of those laps, Lewis Hamilton was in the lead, which is the equivalent of a football team being about 7-0 up with 5 minutes to go. But then what transpired after that was a bigger fix than if Bob the Builder and Jimmy Savile had a link-up, fam. I swear down, bro. The shady way the FIA tried to stop Lewis Hamilton running off with all the marbles was worse than Ali versus Sang-woo and Squid Game, bruv. I've seen more decency from a pisshead relieving himself in a confessional booth than I did from the FIA that day, fam. But anyway, over the past couple of days, some interesting information has come to light in the fact that the team radios, that is conversations between the Formula One drivers and their teams back at HQ, has been released, showing that the drivers were just as baffled by the FIA's decision to fix this race as the fans were. So what we're going to be doing today is taking a look at those conversations, and also we're going to be taking a look at the reaction of the public to one of the biggest fixes and cheating incidents in sporting history. So first of all, let's take a look at what Lando Norris, the driver who finished in 7th place, had to say. Check it out.
I'm not too sure what was said from the FIA. Like, you know, at first we weren't allowed to overtake as like the back markers. So if that influenced decisions to Mercedes and to Lewis, and that's the reason they didn't do the pit stop. But then the FIA suddenly changed their minds, and then they were allowed to let us past. Then then that's where I'm not so sure. So I'll just say congrats to both drivers, Lewis and to Max. Of course, Max won, and congrats to that. But in terms of decision, for it to end like that, I'm not so sure.
So what he's referring to there is the fact that there were 5 cars in between Lewis Hamilton and the eventual winner Max Verstappen, and initially the race director Michael Masi said that those cars were not allowed to get out of the way, but then after speaking to Max Verstappen's team manager, decided to change his mind, leaving Lewis Hamilton at a massive disadvantage, which I might add went against several Formula One rules, leaving Lewis Hamilton, the public and his team completely outraged. Now obviously I've simplified it a lot there, but that's basically what happened. So now why don't we take a look at some of the team radio conversations, and you can watch the full video on a channel called F1 Unfiltered. Check it out.
So we will not be allowed to overtake. They will not allow us to unlap ourselves, Lance.
So the race will resume in this position?
Yes, we believe so. But Sainz and Bottas behind will be blue flags for you straight away.
There's cars overtaking the safety car?
Not us. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Safety car is in this lap. Cars behind will have blue flags. Cars behind will have blue flags.
I don't understand why I shouldn't be able to overtake the safety car.
Okay, Lance, that's checkered flag. That's checkered flag. We'll explain what happened. We'll explain later.
Yeah, man, what the fuck?
So you can hear there that Lance Stroll is about as confused as the bisexual son of a Presbyterian bishop, fam. He has no idea what's going on, and he's not the only one. Listen to what Daniel Ricciardo had to say.
Oh, lap cars will not be allowed to overtake. Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake. Safety car ending, red button off. Daniel, they've allowed the lap cars ahead of us to overtake the safety car, but not us. There'll be 1 lap racing.
Okay, so I stay where I am?
Yeah, so stay where you are. This is a normal safety car restart. Recharge off. Okay, buddy, that's the checkered flag. Okay, Daniel, so we finished P12 in the end. Obviously not enough laps, and with the other cars being allowed to go after the safety car, then that pit stop didn't help.
Okay, yeah, I got no idea what they did with letting cars through. Obviously I wasn't really in that anyways, but it seems strange.
Yeah, it was a bit unusual. Unfortunately, that pit stop at the end, which I think would have been a good idea, didn't work because they only let through some of the cars.
Alrighty, cheers guys. I'm glad I'm not a part of that. Whatever just happened, it seemed pretty fucked up.
So you can see there, another professional racing driver has no clue what's going on, and not only that, it's quite clear that something suspicious is going on here, and he's glad he had no part of it. So this is clearly something out of the ordinary that's happening right now, and that thing is a massive fucking stitch up, bruv. Now let's listen to what Spanish Formula 1 driver Carlos Sainz has to say, and it's safe to say that he's not best pleased, fam. Check it out.
Save the car and stay out.
I cannot stay normal race.
Yeah, it should be longer though. We are losing free position on boxing, so better stay out and look after your tires.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it would be unfair if they restart this race, but should stay behind safety car.
Yeah, understood.
Giving massive advantage to some people.
It seems some oil reported where they crashed. Watch out for oil. Was it oil there?
Yeah, still the white thing. We need to clean it a bit before we go racing.
Okay.
If not, it could be dangerous. I am not going racing with all these cars in front of me. They need to unlap.
Yeah, that's the message for them. They should pass, but stay calm. They will not unlap, so they will not unlap themselves, so they will stay there.
Very, very strange. Very unfair.
So again, that's another driver saying that everything that's happening right now is very strange, because to be honest, it's never happened before, and also that it's completely unfair and giving a massive advantage to certain people. You can hear it from the horse's mouth, fam. And it's still very convenient that it happened in a race that was set to hand Lewis Hamilton his 8th Drivers' Championship, which would make him the most decorated Formula 1 driver of all time. Convenient, that ain't it? But anyways, so far you can hear most of the drivers are completely bewildered at what's happening and are pretty unhappy with it. But there was one guy who benefited from this happening, and that was the guy who went on to win the race, Max Verstappen. So let's listen to his team radio on the last lap, and let's see whether we can notice any difference between the stuff that he's saying on his radio compared to what the other drivers have been saying. Check it out.
Safety car deployed, Max. Safety car deployed.
These back markers need to get out of the way. They should unlock themselves.
Yep, they will once that message comes through. Okay, so stay online, Max. Those lap cars are now being allowed to overtake. Stay online, let them go off the racing line. Cancel that. Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
So just stopping it quickly there, because suspiciously, this team are the only team to say that the lapped cars would be allowed to overtake. Everyone else was told that they wouldn't. And you just heard him say quickly that the lapped cars would be overtaking. Don't worry, Max, they're gonna get out of your way. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
I think all the cars ahead of you are going to pass Hamilton. Everybody behind you will stay in position. Yeah, so everybody up to Vettel are allowed to overtake Hamilton.
So basically what they've done there is removed every single obstacle in front of Max Verstappen, despite the fact that Verstappen was 11 seconds behind before the safety car came on the track, meaning that he would never have been able to catch Lewis Hamilton in the last 5 laps unless this incident happened. And then even then, with the cars that were in front of him, he wouldn't have been able to overtake all 5 cars in a single lap. So what the race director did is removed all of those obstacles in front of Max Verstappen and gave him a single lap on fresh tyres when Lewis Hamilton had tyres which had already done 50 laps. And it was quite clear to anyone who's ever seen Formula 1 before that this essentially just handed Max Verstappen the title. I'm telling you, this guy is fixing more things than Gorilla Glue, bruv. And if you want to find out how much of an obvious fix this was, just listen to Lewis Hamilton's reaction once he realises what's happening. Check it out.
It's unbelievable. What's the situation behind me?
So the situation is Verstappen has pitted. He had a free pit stop. We would have lost track position to him. 4 laps remaining when you cross the line. So this field has to bunch, and then they have to send lap cars through. So it may not restart.
Oh, fuck. Is he right behind me?
He will be once they've sorted out all the order. This is going to take a while to sort out.
With new tyres?
Copy, Lewis. We would have lost track position if we had pitted.
So you need to tell the safety car to speed up. He's not flat out down this straight.
Copy, Lewis.
The safety car's not going full gas down the straight.
Copy, Lewis. Understood.
How many cars are behind me and in between us?
5 cars between you. The field still hasn't bunched.
How many laps left?
There'll be 3 when you cross the line. So lapped cars are now allowed to overtake, so no weaving, stay on line. Oh, they're not going to overtake actually. They're not going to allow the cars to overtake. So we believe they may restart the race like this.
There's still lower debris down there.
And copy that, Lewis. So he's now going to let the car through.
Got to get up past the safety car then.
So he's going to let 4 cars through. And safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
Yes, it's been manipulated, man.
Oh, I'm just speechless, Lewis. Absolutely speechless.
Now, to those of you who don't watch Formula 1, you might be thinking, yeah, but it's not that bad. But I'm telling you now, this is the most obvious case of race fixing you will ever see. You've never seen Formula 1 drivers react this way before. They're completely stunned. This is the equivalent of winning an Olympic gold medal on steroids. It's unbelievable. And earlier on, someone tweeted this, which is a list of all the events as they happened, and you can see what an absolute shit show of a farce it was. And speaking of tweets, for the past 2 days, I Stand With Lewis Hamilton has been trending on Twitter, and thousands of people have been tweeting their support after Lewis Hamilton's team Mercedes said that they were going to lodge an appeal against the completely manufactured outcome of this race. And one of the people who posted in support of Lewis Hamilton was the famous motherfucker Samuel L. Jackson, who had this to say: "I know all too well what it's like to have to defend yourself in public and sit back and watch your friends and family be silent. I can't do that. We shouldn't let out Lewis Hamilton fight this alone. Life is short, tomorrow isn't promised, and more time is not guaranteed for any of us. We shouldn't console him with quote-unquote next year. For a full season, we watched Lewis compete with Max for his title fairly and aggressively. Max is an incredible driver. He deserved all his wins this season, but he did not win this championship. Lewis, our brother, was robbed. For 57.5 laps, he dominated. Sometimes he even led by 16 seconds, according to Red Bull's own status cards. F1 has been on a campaign to bring in a wider and diverse audience, but somehow continues to railroad its only black driver in the sport by making arbitrary last-minute rules that consistently contradicts the previous ones. These rule changes seem to specifically affect Lewis the most. F1, FIA may not do the right thing, and in that case, they deserve to lose us, fans, in the process. While this is entertainment overall, and pales in comparison to many other issues we face, we shouldn't ignore that this man is part of our legacy as a people, and this is his life's work he is being robbed of. At F1, at Mercedes AMG F1, at FIA official, at Lewis Hamilton." And you know what? I couldn't agree with Big Sam more. This entire incident has been a massive farce and has quite frankly brought F1 to its knees. It's made it look like a joke, fam. Casual fans of that sport would have seen that race and turned off, fam, and they're not coming back, because what's the point of watching a race when the clear winner is about to win the race and then you do something mental to fix the outcome just so your little new favourite can win? Fuck that, fam. But anyway, Mercedes have until tomorrow, Thursday the 16th of December, to appeal the decision, and if they don't, then I can see a world where Formula 1 lose a massive amount of fans that they could have drawn into their sport, but instead they decided to fix the race and fuck up the base. But anyway, before I go, I just want to let you know that I'm a third of the way towards my goal on Patreon, and as most of you who watch my videos know, I'm trying to become a full-time YouTuber, but I can't do it on my own, and I need your support because basically the money I make off YouTube is negligible. So if you can help me in any way possible, I'll be eternally grateful for that. Please don't make yourself broke or anything like that, but if you can spare a couple of quid here and there, head over to my Patreon today and subscribe, and you'll find all kinds of exclusive content on there and whatnot. So yeah, I guess that about does it for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash that like button and turn notifications on by clicking that notification bell so you can see more videos like this one. So yeah, once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. And